We have cars that can move you from point A to B, and then we have cars that can move you from point A to B with a little bit of comfort. And also, we have cars that can move you from point A to B with a perfect blend of comfort and handling. The latter is where the Ford Everest is categorized, as it inspires confidence, elegance, grandeur, sophistication, and meticulous attention to details. This crossover SUV is designed to conquer the urban streets and off-road trails with equal prowess. Tangu tuanze kipindi watu wanasema sijaiwaambia jina yangu. Niko na majina mingi. Wengi wanasema Senator 026, lakini ile yenye iko kwa birth certificate ni Abel Nicanor Omasaite. This is Automobile, or we normally say it's all about confidence in motion. Tuanze kipindi jameni. Na kabla sijaendelea, ningependa ujisajili na kituo hiki kwa kubofya kitufe cha kujisajili, na pia uweze kubonyeza kengele ile kila wakati tunatengeneza kanda kama hii, unaweza kupata harafa kwa njia isiyo na bugda wala bagshasha. Now, the Ford Everest has its manufacturing plant based in Michigan, United States of America. Since its inception back in 2003, it has undergone numerous tweaks, improvements, and modifications to be one of the best-selling cars globally. But here in Kenya, it has undergone its own fair share of problems, of which we'll be discussing as to why the Ford Everest does not have a formidable following in the Kenyan market. Now, this car has undergone 3 generations of production. The first generation was known as the UR type, which is produced from 2003 all the way to 2015. From 2015 to 2022, we did have the second generation of the Everest that was codenamed the UA. As we are currently speaking, the Ford Everest is in its third iteration, known as the UR. Now, it is good to note that since we have Indians following our content, the manufacturers of the Everest felt that because to avoid clashing of brands in the Indian market, the Everest in India is known as the Ford Endeavor. So don't confuse that. Now, when it comes to this Ford Everest, it is also good to note that the first generation of the Ford Everest was based on the Mazda Ford Ranger pickup, while the second and the third generation was based on the T6 Ranger platform. Now, this car is available with 2 driving configurations. The first driving configuration is the 4x2, and the second driving configuration is the 4x4. Without any further ado, of course, the best configuration to go with is the 4x4. I mean, why will you buy a 4x2 of this car, which is very rugged, it's bold, and of course, due to its demeanor, it occupies a lot of space on the road. So the best configuration to go with is 4x4. So let's take a look at what is under the hood of the 2016 Ford Everest. So the drivetrain that powers this car is a 3.2-liter diesel Duratok that is linked to a 6-speed automatic transmission. This is a car I love very much because of its engine performance and also how the transmission works in tandem with the engine to deliver a smooth start and decent acceleration. Of course, there are other engine options that come with the 2016 Ford Everest. There's a 2-liter and a 2.3-liter petrol, that is Eco Blue, and also we do have a 2.0-liter turbocharged diesel-driven that also comes as one of the engines equipped, or rather that powers the 2016 Ford Everest. Now, when it comes to engine comparisons between the 3.2 Duratorque liter and the 2.0 diesel liter, of course, a person who loves performance and speed, being an enthusiast of cars, I'll prefer you go with the 3.2 liter simply because it's very powerful and it gives you a lot of thrust and driver engagement, as opposed to the 2.0 liter, which is a very powerful engine, but since it's powerful and it's small, it's prone to reliability issues. So the best engine to go with is the 3.2 liter Duratorque diesel engine. Of course, when it comes to deciding which type of engine will you go with, is it the petrol driven or the diesel driven? For me, I'll go with the diesel driven simply because it has good mileage, it's fuel economical, and also when it comes to speed, it's very fast compared to its petrol counterpart. Now that you have taken a look at the engine performance of the 2016 Ford Everest, let's take a look at the exterior design of the Ford Everest. The Ford Everest has a bold and rugged design that will for sure caught attention wherever it traverses. The front end has the chrome-accent grille bearing the Ford emblem that is used to stamp its authority wherever it goes. Above the hood, we also have some sculpted lines that helps in improving the aerodynamics. Also flanking the grille, we do have angular headlights plus the LED daytime running lights that lend it an upscale and refined appearance. The lower fascia encompasses air vents as well as the fog lights that come in handy, especially when you're traversing dusty areas or mist-prone areas. Now, taking a look at the side profile of the Ford Everest, you do have running boards that allow passengers to easily embark or disembark from this vehicle without a lot of distress. Also, we do have power mirrors and power windows, and also the wheels, they are all-weather tires. They can be driven in any road, be it in urban town or in urban areas or off-road trails. It can traverse any type of terrain without any problem, since it can be driven on muddy areas, gravel areas, or sandy areas. Now, when you take a look at its approach and departure angles, it's very good, and it can tackle any kind of terrain without damaging its body components, which when it's damaged, it's very expensive to repair or replace them. Now, this car comes with a sunroof that allows ambient lighting inside the cabin. Also, we do have roof rails that enhance the overall appearance of the Everest. Now, the door handles as well as the mirror caps, they are not body colored. They do have some chrome embellishments, which makes the car look aesthetically pleasing. And also the wheels, they are size 19 and they can be driven in off-road or even urban areas. At the rear end, we do have a tow bar that can be used to tow a trailer. If you're an adventurous person, you can tow your trailer to wherever camping you will be going to. Of course, the tailgate is electronically actuated, which is very convenient for when your hands are full of cargo. The tailgate will come in handy, for it is electronically powered. We also do have a roof spoiler that enhances the overall appearance of this car and also helps in improving the aerodynamics. So let's take a look at the interior of the 2016 Ford Everest. great people, I'm seated in the interior of the 2016 Ford Everest, and I can tell you, great people, this car has a very elegant interior with soft touches and also plastic and leather touches as well. Now, when it comes to the legroom and headroom, we do have ample and sufficient legroom and headroom. And if you're very tall like me, you will be seated pretty comfortably in this car. Now, its seats can be electronically adjusted to accommodate a desired position. Now, its steering wheel right here, it is power assisted, hence it adapts very well to road curvature. And also, we do have some controls like the volume, phone call, and also the preset and sets conditions of this car. They are mounted right here on the steering wheel so as to give you some kind of convenience while you are driving your car. Now, the cluster meter is looking pretty decent. I do love the way it has been designed. It's very elegant, and it gives you 200 kilometers per hour. Now, when it comes to compartment storages, we do have dual pockets, and also we do have a center console, and also we do have a glove box compartment and 2 cup holders encompassed in the first row. They are intended to improve the ride comfort of the occupants of this vehicle. That is all about what is in the first row of the 2016 Ford Everest. Now, the second row shares the same attributes as the first row, for it has sufficient knee room and headroom, and also its seats can be reclined to accommodate a desired posture. Now, when it comes to the AC, the second row seats have an access to an AC, whereby it can they can turn it on or turn it off just to regulate the temperature of this car depending on how they want the temperature to be. And also, for people who like charging their phones, we do have a 12 volt power output with the USB ports. And also, what have I forgotten? Yes, they can be used to properly charge your phone and any other electronic device that you may be having in your car. Now, the third row seat, I've certain that third row seat, it's very crampy for tall people, as it has limited legroom, and the headroom is not bad, but the knee room, it's very crampy. So I can say the third row seat is only ideal to kids and maybe pets, if you do love pets. Ukikuwa na chihuahua yako au unafurahia kuiweka tu huko nyuma pole pole. Now, to improve the ambient of this car, as you can see right above me, you see we do have a sunroof for ambient lighting. Of course, imeniongezea taa ikaribu settings zangu za camera, so I have to close it off like that because I prefer this kind of lighting in this car. Now, this car has traction control and stability control, so when you're traversing off-road, you don't need to be scared that you might be stuck in mud. This car, it can traverse any terrain, regardless of the weather pattern or condition. So, great people, that is all about what the interior of the 2016 Ford Everest entails. Now, as I stated earlier on, its tailgate is electronically actuated and comes in handy, especially when your hands are full of cargo. Now, when it comes to its practicality, now that it is a 3-row car, when the third row seats are up, you see that we do have very minimal space that can only accommodate small luggages. But when you want to haul freights of big sizes, you can retract the second row and the third row seats. Now, when it comes to the stability and handling of this car, of course, its steering wheel is power assisted and it adapts very well to road curvature. The suspension system cushions passengers from experiencing any kind of jarring movement, especially when traversing on rough surfaces. The cabin is properly insulated to prevent outside noise from causing discomfort to the occupants of this car. As I said earlier on, the engine works in tandem with the transmission system to deliver a smooth start and decent acceleration. Now, other technologies incorporated in this car to improve its stability include the ESC, that is electronic stability control, anti-lock braking system, that is ABS. We also have blind spot monitoring, lane departure warning, and also we do have brake assist. Those are some of the technologies encompassed in this car to improve its stability. Now, when it comes to how you can approach tight corners, of course, it is advisable to reduce speed when approaching tight corners. For this car, because of its high ground clearance, which in turn results to a high center of gravity, it's advisable to reduce speed when approaching tight corners, so that because this car tends to experience a lot of body roll. Now, of course, we did talk about the tow bar, which can be used by adventurous people to tow either a trailer or any other car when they are going camping or someplace in a good serene area to enjoy themselves. So great people, you come to the end of today's episode of Mobi, or we normally say it's all about confidence in motion. Tuonane jamani.